Okay, in this tutorial, let's learn about subplots, plots with more than one column. Okay, so to define that figure, you need this command x plt subplots, and the first argument is the number of rows. I'll have 3 rows and 2 columns. The second argument is the number of columns, and I can also define the figure size here. Okay, let me have some space. Figsize is equal to, say, 7 by 10. Oops. Okay, now if I execute this command, you will see that there are plots, 3 rows of plots and 2 columns of plots, right? Okay, and let's define our usual x and y axis. np.arange 0 to 10 with 0.1 increments, and y is okay. And I will, for the demonstration, I will start plotting on this box. So this is row number 0, column number 1. Okay, so ax, how to plot this? You use the x, row number 0, column number 1 dot plot x, y. We'll have a label. Okay, so if I execute this command, I should I have misspelled label. Okay, then I will draw 2 curves on row number 1 and column number 0. Okay, and I'll just copy and paste this here, and I'll make it row number 1, column number 0. I will plot the same thing, but and for the second curve I'll plot 2 times sin x. And let's see what happens. Okay, so you have the 2 curves, but if you want to have a legend for that, what you can do is you can have a legend for only for that box. Okay, so 10 dot legend. Okay, and you can control the legend location in the usual way. So if I want it in the location 1, simply have to do that. Okay, and the other thing that we need to do sometimes is that we want to change the space between these plots. This is the vertical space and also the horizontal space. This is called so width space and height space. That's how that's the easiest way to remember that. So how to change that you can use this plot.subplot adjust, and the width space. So this space, if you want to change this space, you use wspace, and let's increase it to 0.5 to show you what happens. See, it increased a lot. And to change this height space, that's hspace, let's also change it to something big like 0.3 to see what happens. Okay, so you have some small space. Okay, I'll change this to 0.2. Okay, and at other times what we want to do is we want to make sometimes we want to have the same y-axis, right? to achieve that, you can use share x or share y. So if you want to share the y-axis for all the subplots, you use this command, this attribute share y equals to true. When you do that, you will see all the y-axis have the same scale now. Okay, so you can do the same thing for the x-axis. Let's try to do to see what happens now. So you have the same x-axis scale. Okay, I'll change it to share y true. And sometimes you want to get rid of these ticks. Okay, and to achieve that, I'll have some more space here. So just to remove tick labels, remove tick labels. To do is, let's say I want to get rid of the tick labels of the very first plot. So x 0 0 dot set x tick labels you simply put an empty list there. So when you execute that, you should not see any tick labels. Okay, now what if you want to also get rid of all the tick marks here? So what you do is you use set x ticks to a 0 empty list, right? So you don't, so if you use this command, you can get rid of both x tick labels and tick marks. But if you want to get rid of just the tick labels, you can use this command. Okay, and you can also individually, you can also set the axis labels individually. So to do that, you follow the same syntax. I will use the first subplot to demonstrate that. Set I'll add something. Y-axis of 0 0. Okay, and you can do the same thing for the x-axis. Okay, but in some cases we want to have a common x and y axis labels. So to achieve that, we have to use this command. So I'll use figure, I'll use these attributes of this figure text. So I'm setting the common y label. Okay. if I execute this command, you see this one. Okay, you can, I'll just get rid of this labels for the first plot, subplot, and you can change the rotation of the label. I'll set it to vertical so it is a bit nicer, and I'll also set the font size to something big. Okay, see that? Why is it? Okay, that's better. And you can adjust, or you can play with the space between this label and the plot using this first argument. So if you can set it to, let's say 0.5, it's a big value. Yeah, you can't even see it. Oh no, it's here. So it's in the center. So we have to make it smaller, much smaller, to increase the space between the plot and the label. Okay, and you can, I think you can use negative values as well, so that will move it further away from the plot. Let's use 0.9. Okay, you can see that, right? So I'll have a smaller value here. Okay, and you can do the same thing for the y-axis, for the x-axis. In this case, I want the first argument, the x position, to be 0.5 and the y position to be something small. This is just x. I don't want it to be rotated, so I can either change this to horizontal. Okay, and you can also change the space between this label and the plot using this value. So if you make it really small, it will move further away from the plot. Okay. Okay, and also you can change the resolution of the image. You can to do that, you can specify the DPI value here. Okay, something like that, to change the resolution. So you can see that I think it got a little bit better, right? Yeah, let's increase to something much bigger. Yeah, it will take some time to generate the figure, but it will look nicer. Okay, so those are the things that I wanted to talk about in this video. In a new video, let's learn more about plotting.